Hey everybody, this is Joseph Pasek, and welcome to the Fired Up Network. Welcome to the On the Mat Wrestling Show, and welcome to my good pals from Huge Pop Wrestling Show. That's the Hall of Fame. I'm going to announce it all the time. Jimmy Corderas, and should be in the Hall of Fame also, Donnie Da Silva. How you guys doing?
Not even in the Hall of pretty good.
Oh wow!
Really? No. Talk about the Maple Leafs like that. Okay. So,
oh wow! We're starting like that already.
Yeah, we're going to start because, Jimmy, as you know, we talked before, we got another 6-hour affair here between AEW, okay? Another 6 hour. We got matches. I don't even know why they're on here. We got tailgate brawl here. Like, at least put some burgers on, at least put some, Donnie's organization on. People could watch real wrestling instead of this propaganda they have here in AEW. Let's start off with a banger of a match. We don't even know the next team. Eddie Kingston and Hook versus to be announced. Okay, so Donnie, do you go for to be announced?
I think to be announced is really underrated, and I think they've been doing some good work, especially on the indies. And I think I really like the way that they've been focused on their diet, and I like their chances.
All right, what do you say, Jimmy?
I can't top that. There's no way I can follow that. Forget it.
All right. Of course, this next match also, and Eddie Kingston and Hook are on the 0 hour or the tailgate brawl. Trent Pereira, Rocky Romero, QT Marshall, and boom, Donnie.
Go to Jimmy first. I'm still processing this one.
All right, Jimmy.
I'm still trying to figure out why. I know where's this taking place again?
And in the Prudential Center, New York.
That's why we got the big boom, AJ, because he doesn't have to. They don't have to pay him trans because he's already there. Okay, I got it. I got why he's there, but I don't understand why him and QT Marshall are teaming. Was there a reconciliation that we don't know about?
In Tony Khan's office.
Oh, I missed that. Sorry, I don't attend the sessions in Tony's office. Did that air on TV or just online?
Just what's her name? Renee Paquette was. I'm in Tony, and he was just walking out. Big boom! You're on Saturday. You're gonna feel the boom or whatever.
Oh, for the love of God!
Hell of a hype.
Yep. Boom.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's who we need in this one. We need Marvin the Martian in this match because he's the only one that's going to bring an earth-shattering kaboom.
I like that.
All right, kaboom. Why are we talking about this match? Anyways, next match, four-way match. Winners get 200,000. Donnie, I mean, you should tag team up here. 200,000. Max Catcher, Anthony Bowens, Juice Robinson, Austin Gunn against Big Bill, Brian Keith, Truth Magnet, and Turbo Floyd.
Just quick side note. The fact that they put Max Caster and Bowens back together again, is that the biggest backtrack since they decided Cena wasn't going to be a heel anymore? Like, why do you throw these guys back together after doing absolutely nothing with them individually? Did they just decide, well, we've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas? Like, they literally tried nothing with either guy and then just decided to put them back together, I guess because Tony missed scissoring. I don't know. Do I really have a sense of this match? Oh, God. Like, if you asked me this a few months ago, I would say bet on the Outrunners because they're hot, but they're not hot anymore. They're like, nobody cares anymore. So I'm going to say, I guess, the Reformed Acclaimed.
Okay, Jimmy.
I still have hope. Hope. As fading as it is, I still have hope for the Outrunners. And what they should do is change the stipulations of this match where I would like to see them win, and the winners of this match receive a push.
No.
For 2 weeks.
Forget this cash stuff. They win money stuff. Everybody knows it's BS.
It is.
Give these guys a push, please.
I want
All
the stip to be they get Tony's ATM code.
And watch it not work. All right, CMML World Trios Championship match, and this should be the last match on Tailgate Brawl or whatever, 0 Hour. Mystical, Dorada, and Neon versus Okada, Takecha, and Hechicero, Donnie.
I don't even have that match on my rundown here. So wait, Okada is in the pre-show?
Yes.
And Takeshita.
And Takeshita.
Yeah.
Aren't these guys like two of your top dogs?
And they're going to face off against each other. And by the way, they're going to promote this Continental Championship tournament. And who has the Continental Championship? Okada. So whatever.
Now, in fairness, everyone, I think for the most part, that's on the main card, you can make a case as to why they should be there over this match. Other than, and we'll get to that match, that $1 million 6-man nonsense, just because I don't care about it. But if you're truly pushing the fact that Okada is the best in the world and Takeshita is the big thing, I don't know if this does them any favors. And why not just add another match? Why not just put this on the main show anyway? We know it's going to be 11 hours. What's another 24 minutes? Just throw it on.
Me and Jimmy were talking about it. We need an overrun into the pay-per-view.
Yeah, just right.
Oh, that's a good call. This is the match that's going to overrun from the pre-show into the pay-per-view. Gotcha.
That's their new hallmark. That's their new stamp of originality. I don't know. I guess I'll say, since I'm not probably going to side with the Callis family anywhere else, I'll say that Takeshita, Okada, they get their hands raised.
Okay, Jimmy.
I'll go with that. But this is the match. I know what to expect. Spot. No sell. Spot. No sell. Everybody's down. Everybody poses, looks at each other. Spot. Let's go. And Okada and Takeshita stare at each other. They're not happy with each other. That's pretty much the whole match.
Dave Meltzer has already awarded it 7 3/4 stars.
Yes. But that being said, you're right. You have an angle brewing between Okada and Takeshita. You're putting this on the pre-show to try and further an angle. That makes zero sense to me. If you're going to further this angle, have Okada and Takeshita, just them. We don't need a Hechicero, whatever, pardon my pronunciation, anywhere near this. Why? Unless they're losing and he's eating the pin.
I think that, like I said, this is the overrun match. That's it. To get it on pay-per-view.
If that's what they did, Jim, if they took that old exit and had Hechicero eat the pin, it does nothing to further their story. The only way their story gains heat out of this is if one of those two eats the pin. And obviously, I mean Takeshita, because Tony thinks that Okada's not allowed to lose. So if Takeshita eats the pin and then there's beef between them, like, you're the weak link, you cost us the win, blah, blah, blah. How are they going to get hot at Hechicero? Like, they both going to kick his ass? No, because they're all supposed to be part of the same family. I don't know. I don't get the vision.
All right. And now after that, we're excited for the pay-per-view portion. AEW National Championship Casino Gauntlet match. Go ahead. Sorry, Jimmy.
No, I'm just sighing. That's all.
Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Ricochet, Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, and others to be announced. All right. Donnie, do you take the field?
Usually in this case, when they do this kind of thing, it's one of the announced guys, unless there's a massive surprise coming. I don't think there's a massive surprise coming for this one. I don't think so. Jim, have you heard anything about any massive surprises for this?
Nothing really through the grapevine. There's nothing the only massive surprise that could possibly make sense here is someone that I don't see returning to AEW, and that's Chris Jericho. That's it.
Yeah. And
That's
if
it.
it is Jericho, he's not going to be up.
No,
He might be the first one out.
exactly. But this thing is all set up. Bobby Lashley is number one. Shelton Benjamin is number two. Obviously, they're both part of the Hurt Syndicate. For the first little while, they should be kind of sketchy with facing each other and not happy with each other. Start teasing that dissension before people start feeding in. And when people start feeding in, they should both beat the living you-know-what out of everybody that enters the ring. And every time somebody comes to that ring, it's a face-off between them two. That's the way I'd love to see it work out. And finally, book Bobby Lashley the way he's supposed to look. He squashed Ricochet in like 30 seconds, thank God, on Wednesday Night Dynamite. That's the way you got to book this guy. Finally, somebody got in his ear, or they just, I don't know. I'm hoping for Bobby Lashley at least, anyways.
So am I. And honestly, if it's not Bobby, it should be Shelton. And if it's neither one of those two, I don't know what's happening, right? Because otherwise, you're just going with these like IWC sweethearts that don't actually move the needle for your company. And that should be the goal, is how do we elevate? How do we get bigger and bigger and bigger? To me, I would put I would hitch my wagon to Bobby Lashley. But on a side note, I think the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal thing is one of the better concepts, maybe the best concept AEW has produced, and they're milking that cow dry. That cow is now that cow is so emaciated and devoid of moisture because it has been milked. It is just a rack of bone at this point, that cow. I feel bad for that cow.
First of all, I agree with Bobby Lashley, but I have a sneaky feeling because you mentioned he took a pin 30 seconds into the match. How apropos in Tony Khan's mind, Ricochet goes over. You can't disagree with that because that's the thinking from Tony Khan. So, because he really took a pin like 35 seconds into the match. So,
unfortunately, I could see that being an option.
Let's see what happens there. So 4-way women's match. Winner chooses the stipulation for their semifinal match in the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament. Timeless Tony Storm, who's doing an amazing job. All right. Mina, Julia Hart, Sky Blue. We got Willow Nightingale versus Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron versus Megan Bayne and Maria Shafir. What do you say, Jimmy? Let's go start with you first.
Didn't we have a 4-team tag earlier in the night on the pre-show? And just because there's one on the men's side, do we need one on the women's side? Why can't the women's tag team championship be decided in a traditional tag team match?
Because they want to get everybody on the pay-per-view. You know that already.
It's like a participation trophy for some people. I don't know. I like the team of Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale. I love them. They're entertaining, very much so. You got something here with Mina Shirakawa, maybe a little bit, and Timeless Tony Storm. Again, they're diving and going way, way to the almost comedic side of tag team. But Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne should be booked like twin Chinas. Basically, let's put it this way. Marina Shafir should be Ronda Rousey and Megan Bayne should be China. And they should just decimate the entire division.
And they should, but they probably won't. So that's it. Donnie.
Yeah, for me, it's really hard for me to try to guess what they're going to do. If I was booking this show, I would put Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir over. And I would have them win the tag team titles when you get to that point. But I have this feeling that Tony kind of has this thought in the back of his head, like, well, Tony Storm is our top star and she doesn't have a title right now and she kind of needs a title. And, whether or not that means she wins this match or she wins I don't know. I have a feeling that the team of Tony and Mina win this also because, they just got beat in that, the blood and guts match. So this is their comeback. This is their chance to shine a little bit after that beating. But I'm 100% with Jimmy. I would hitch my wagon. If you're going to actually build this division, I would make Bane and Shafir the ladies' version of the Road Warriors, and I would just steamroll everybody for at least the next 6 to 8 months, at least.
Well, we're all in agreement with that. Is it going to happen? Probably not. So I'll put it that way. Next match, and this guy has been doing an amazing job since he's come back. Pac against Darby Allin. Jimmy.
Yeah, you know what? I do like Pac. I think he's a very good in-ring talent. I think he's actually the promo he cut on Wednesday. Very good. Very good. I kind of wish they would have interspersed a little bit of video of him throwing Darby Allin off the top of the set through the flaming tables to give people a little context who didn't see the pay-per-view. But other than that, this match should be, there's going to be a lot of death-defying stuff here. If anything, I'm hoping for Pac, but I'm afraid that it's just going to be the same old Darby Allin defeats and moves forward with who's next on the Death Riders. I don't know. I want Pac to win. I want to further this and make this an actual story that draws out. But, with the quick booking that we get where stories are done in like a week and a half in AEW, I'm afraid that's not happening.
Okay,
I got very little to add to that. I'm 100% in agreement. I like what Pac is doing. I think he's one of those guys that's seemingly been around forever, but has never reached the height that his talent would indicate he should be at. And that's not because he's short. That's because of booking decisions and a lot of injury trouble. That's really what has sidelined his career for the most part. Right now, it looks like he has the ear of the man with the pencil. And Darby is obviously a company pillar, and he is a favorite. So Jimmy is right. They could just simply go right back to that, but I'm hoping that they decide Pac needs to be elevated. And I like this style that he's imploring. He's less dependent on his moniker on the indies was the man that gravity forgot, right? And it was all about like the super incredible high spots. You're seeing new layers to Pac for the first time ever. And that, to me, and I'm guessing Jim as well, is what makes him so compelling.
You know what? I agree with everything you said, but what's next for Darby Allin? It looks like they want to put him in that championship main event style, but are you going to believe him as the champion of AEW when they should push guys like Bobby Lashley?
The fans will. Because
their fans, the sickos will.
That's right. He's so well, and that's who they market to. He's so well established with that audience that they're almost getting to the point where they're pissed he hasn't won yet, right? They're almost at the point where they're starting to feel like he's getting screwed. But they know that he's a Tony Khan favorite, so obviously he's not getting screwed. But I do think that as much as I agree with you, there's guys like Bobby Lashley, there's guys like Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, even though he's slowed down. There's other guys, Samoa Joe, there's other guys that belong in that heavyweight title scene, but the fans want Darby there.
Yeah. All right. The next match, and this guy maybe has fallen down a little bit. Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly. Donnie, let's start with you.
So if this was old school booking logic, Kyle O'Reilly got the biggest win of his career when he had Moxley tap out in the blood and guts match. He also beat him, if I'm not mistaken, in the advantage match, right?
Yeah.
So he's looking pretty dominant against John Moxley right now. He's looking like a steamroller. So old school booking would say it's time for John to get his heat back. It's time for John to pick up a win. However, if they believe that O'Reilly can be elevated, and I'm not sure if I do believe that, but if they believe that, then you have him beat Moxley again, decisively. And then I think you have to make Moxley go away for a long time. You know, I don't see the logic in having Mox win this match other than just to keep him in the mix. And he doesn't need to be in the mix right now. Like, let Pac take over as the new leader of that crew. Let Mox go away. And by the time he comes back, guess what? He'll be a monster babyface.
Okay, Jimmy.
Yeah, I can't agree more with what Donnie said. My only issue with this match is, did they explain why it's a no holds barred match? I mean, Kyle O'Reilly used the ankle lock to get him to tap out at blood and guts, and he got the ankle lock on again this week, and everybody tried to fight him off and couldn't get him off. He wouldn't let it go. Is the ankle lock a banned move?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, logic dictates you have a no holds barred match when somebody's using a move that is deemed illegal or banned.
Yeah,
The
and
ankle lock is not a banned move.
they could have told that story, Jim, really effectively if they told it the opposite way and built it around the bulldog choke. If they built it around Moxley's bulldog choke, which by all wrestling logic, correct me if I'm wrong, ref, it's illegal because it's a choke, right? It's not a headlock. It's not a sleeper hold. It's a flat out choke. It's an MMA style choke. So, had they done it that way, I could understand the no holds barred stipulation. You are 1000% on the money to ask, why is this the stip? I don't get it. Right? It's not like Jerry Lawler with the pile driver. This is really odd to me.
Yeah.
All right. So Tony Khan is spending more money, and not on me or Donnie or Jimmy. It is $1 million trios match. The only good part of this match is Josh Alexander is on the other side. Get him on the pay-per-view. The guy deserves it. Kenny Omega, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus versus Josh Alexander, Matt, and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. Donnie, who are you calling this one? Who you think we should go after? And maybe they could give us some cash.
Like, you already have one match on the card that's supposed to be like the stipulation is a big cash prize. So what you've done is you've made that other match, which is for $200K, look so jabroni because this one's for $1 million. You know,
True.
like, what are we doing? So those guys over there, they're the indie guys, and they only work for six figures. But these guys, they work for more.
But this is $1 million Canadian. Don't forget, Josh Alexander's on it.
Well, the other one's for $200,000 and a hot dog.
Right. And a good job, kid.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Look, again, it's really hard for me to try to predict what they're going to do. What I would do is I would probably build something up and continue to capitalize on the fact that people seem to be happy that Jurassic Express is back together. Kenny Omega, even though he's getting older and he's slowing down and he's being forced to adjust his in-ring style, he's still one of their top stars. So I would probably put them over and go from there. Now, what Tony's going to do, I don't have a clue. Like the last time I expected Matt and Nick to lay down, they didn't, and I was shocked. So I don't know, Jim, what do you think?
I know this is going to be furthering will the Young Bucks join the Callis family? Are they going to turn on their buddy Kenny Omega, which they kind of did already, did they not?
Yeah.
So why are they thinking about it? They've already taken him out.
They've turned on Kenny Omega more times than Big Show has turned heel.
So by that logic, I don't understand why they're having a crisis of conflict in their minds, whether they're going to turn on Kenny Omega. This makes zero sense because, like you said, Donnie, they've done it so many times. So hopefully Josh Alexander gets an opportunity to shine in this one.
Jim, did they ever explain like Jack Perry no longer being pals with the Young Bucks?
Nope. That was never explained, and they didn't explain the magic juice that he injected into Luchasaurus to bring him back to life. I have no idea.
Okay, well, that one I'm just going to chalk it up to creative nonsense and wrestling bullshit. But okay. Jack Perry, before that long hiatus, was pals with the Elite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Can we get a little something? Like, instead of this story being like, we're trying to get the Young Bucks to join the Don Callis family along with 99% of the roster. We're trying to turn on Kenny Omega again. Why wouldn't it be like, hey, not Luchasaurus. Hey, Jack Perry, you've lost your way and you need to be elite. Wouldn't that be a more compelling, believable approach? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know anything about wrestling.
Well, also the story is the Young Bucks need $1 million. All right, that's it, to buy their Nike shoes or whatever they're going to buy. Come on. All right, he's throwing away money. We should go there, and that's it. The next match
should actually show them withdrawing the money from Tony's account and then go and spend, like, throw it out to the crowd. Like, have the baby faces win and just toss it out there. Didn't Hogan do that back in the day, Jim? Like,
DiBiase's money?
Yeah, and it was shoot money too, right? But
yes, it was.
Yeah. No counterfeits there with Ted's face on it. That was the real deal.
So the next match, AEW TNT Championship, no disqualification bout. If Mark Briscoe loses, he is forced to join the Don Callis family. Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher. Jimmy, you'll start us off. Every match is like a sigh. Every match.
But why does this have to be a no disqualification match? Why? So they can have half the Don Callis family run in? Because even if half of them run in, it's going to be more people in the ring than there are in these stands. But anyways, no, sorry.
Wow.
That's just a bad joke. You know me. I have to throw it out there.
Come on. They're also there to see the boom.
There you go. But
thanks.
It's, again, don't get me wrong. I like Kyle Fletcher. I think he's got a good future ahead of him. I'm a big fan of Mark Briscoe. He's showing a lot more personality now than he ever has, and it's a lot of fun to watch. He's very entertaining. Yeah. Him, part of the Don Callis family, could make for some interesting television between him and Don Callis, that's for sure. So I think that's what they're thinking here. I can't see Kyle Fletcher losing the TNT championship at this moment. And unfortunately, we'll see Mark Briscoe as another member of the Callis family making it 47.
Yeah, at this point, once Mark Briscoe is forced against his will to join the Don Callis family, they really should start printing off like a big 6-inch thick yellow pages to hand out to the fans to explain who is in the Don Callis family. You know, you look them up alphabetically and you just see, Briscoe. Yeah. No, he's in there. I forgot. There are so many people in this faction. Like the NWO is looking at the Don Callis family saying, guys, it's enough. Like when the NWO says there's too many guys in your faction, you know, you've gone overboard. I think Jim is correct. I don't think that they want to take the title off Kyle Fletcher, although I think that's 1,000% the right move, because I think that's where you get some real interest. even if only you put it on Mark Briscoe for a short time and Fletcher gets it right back. Let him overcome this mountain, and that elevates him even just to taste the title for a little while. And also it keeps that TNT title interesting. It's gotten a little bit stale. But all that being said, yeah, the fact that it's a no DQ match, there's 1,006 guys in the Don Callis family. We can almost assume we're going to get more run-ins than the main event of WrestleMania 40. And I think that, while Mark Briscoe has his conglomeration buddies, they're going to be outnumbered like 10-1. So I don't see this going well for dem boy Mark Briscoe. So unfortunately, I think Kyle Fletcher gets his hand raised, but God damn it, be brave, man. Put the title on the Chicken Hunter. That's the way to go.
Tag team titles on the line. Brody King, Bandito versus FTR. Jimmy, start us off.
Don't care. I'm sorry.
What's the matches we don't care about here? Come on.
No. I like Brodito. I do like him a lot. The FTR have gotten stale for me. Stokely Hathaway does absolutely zero for them. It doesn't enhance them. It doesn't make them any better. FTR hasn't changed anything in what they do in the last 9 years. Despite winning 9, 12 championships that Dax was talking about and being the best tag team in the world. You know what, guys? Change it up a little bit and maybe you have an argument. Show us a little range. Show us other than trying to be Timu brainbusters.
Don?
All right. Well, since Jimmy's going super hot fire, I'm going to go scorched earth too. We know that FTR are massive Bret Hart marks, right? As a shoot. I hate to tell all the Canadian listeners out there this because they're going to hate it, but I'm going to be very real with you. And if you don't believe me, I don't care. Bret Hart is not the best there is, was, or ever will be. He isn't. But he said it so many times that he worked you all into believing that he was the best ever. He worked you because he is a worker. That is his job. His job is to convince you that he is the greatest ever. And he did an excellent job of doing that. FTR, being big Bret Hart marks, said, hey, we can do that too. So for the last 9 years, they've been running around telling everyone they are the greatest tag team in the world, to the point where the fans now chirp that response right back, whether they're heels or baby faces, because they've been programmed to believe that they are the best in the world. They are not. Every single time I watch an FTR match over the last 2 years, it is rife with mistakes. And I'm not talking about like little miscues, little botches, because I hate that word. I'm talking about things that make no sense at all. Like absolutely no sense. So while Jimmy says they haven't improved, I'm going to go a step further and say they have regressed. They have gotten lazy. They have sat on their laurels, and the fact that they have worked everyone into believing they are the best tag team in the world. And one of the people they've worked into believing that is the man with the pencil, the owner of the company. And for that reason, I would not be one bit surprised to see them take the titles. But it would be a colossal mistake because the most entertaining tag team in the business right now is Brodito. Let them win. Get those Timu brainbusters off to the sidelines, and let's move forward.
The only way these guys win if Edge and Christian come back for the next pay-per-view. Put it that way. All right. Now, it's for the AEW Ladies Championship. Chris Statlander versus the CEO, Mercedes Moné, who has more Ladies Championship than the Don Callis family members. All right. I don't know how many she has. 13, 14. She's going to win on Saturday too. She's going to win. Right, Donnie?
Oh my God. Okay, let me just say this. Mercedes Moné is legitimately very, very, very good. Okay? She is very good. But like FTR and like Jimmy's pal, the Hitman, they are all doing a yeoman's job of working the marks into believing they are much better than they are. In Mercedes' case, it's by doing this belt collector thing where 90% of the belts are belts you've never heard of from companies you've never heard of, where she won it one night because, by the way, AEW stars aren't allowed to lose an indie match. So what did she really accomplish? She showed up. As long as you show up, you got to give her the belt because you're putting her in a title match and she's not coming for a non-title match. So now you got to put her over and she's not going back to those companies to defend the titles. She doesn't need 79 women's titles to convince me that she's good. I know she's good. Now, all that
it's a sore throat. Come on.
All that being said, the most compelling thing they could possibly do with Mercedes Moné at this stage is to have the appearance that she wins every single belt there is except the AEW women's title. She has already failed before to win that title. She should fail again. That's the right move. Do I think that will happen? I do not.
Jim?
Well, I would hope that that does happen, especially after the way Chris Statlander was booked at the end of Collision after the 3-hour show, the 3-hour show on Wednesday night. But well, I don't want to get into the fact, the non-selling after the fact. But anyways, that's a different story for a rant for another day. But Donnie's completely right. Chris Statlander should retain the championship, and the story should be that Mercedes Moné captures every championship she tries to win except the big one. That's the story. And that should start the downward spiral. But my problem after that is, okay, she can lose the, what is the other, the interim, what is
Ring
it?
of Honor.
Ring of Honor television championship, whatever it is, and her TBS championship. What about the other 76 titles that she has from the indies? Is she going to go back to every promotion now and drop the title back to whoever it is on that promotion? It ain't happening. It's not going to happen. So how do you get those titles off her and get them back? Does she just give them back? And then what did you just do with that promotion that you won the title from? You just threw them in the dirt.
And most likely, if she goes back, and by the way, I've spoken to 2 different indies whose belt she currently has, and she has not returned there for the last 6, 7, 8 months, however long it's been since she won the title. One of them told me they've had no luck contacting her for a return date. And the other one said to me, they're under the impression that when they do get her to come back, if they want her to drop the title, they have to have it approved by someone from AEW in terms of the creative. And it's going to have to be some kind of a multi-person match where she's not the one that's defeated. So she's not even going to elevate anybody.
Right.
And
Well,
I
also have heard that, and I don't know, I don't want to wish injury on anybody, but they say she's going to fake an injury or she's going to get injured and they're going to force her. She can't defend the title. So there's a tournament in one of these, promotions or whatever, or all of the promotions. That's what I have heard. So also, I'm not saying it's happening, but I could see that because you're right. She's not going to go to 25 promotions and lose all 25 of them.
Now,
No,
here's the other. Oh, sorry, Johnny.
Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
No, here's the other thing about that. And I understand about bringing her in and popping a house at an indie show. And it has worked. Indie shows have been showing a great improvement when she's on the card. And congrats to that. Guess where she hasn't shown an audience improvement when she's on the show? In AEW. She hasn't moved the needle one iota. And that's the needle that needs to be moved. Okay, I get it, giving back to the indies, that's great. But now when she's not there, is it going to help those indie promotions? Hopefully they get the rub from this, but the big rub that needs to be is on her home promotion, which is AEW, and she's not moving that needle.
And here's the reason to me why she's not moving the needle. It's not because she's not great. It's not because she's not entertaining. It's not even necessarily because of who she's up against. It's because they have conditioned the fans in AEW to believe that the outcome of every match she's in is already obvious. Mercedes doesn't lose. And when there's no suspension of disbelief on the outcome, it does impact fan interest. It just does. It just does. It's one of the reasons why Okada has not drawn in any new fans, right? It's one of the reasons why they struggle to attract new people. Is we know who the Golden Boys and Golden Girls are, and they're always going to be featured, and most times are going to have their hand raised. And if they don't have their hand raised, it's going to be some kind of a schoolboy finish, which means absolutely nothing. So I think it would be fantastic to see Mercedes fail to win this title, not because I don't like her, but because I want a better story. I want her to descend into insanity to the point where you actually successfully make her the underdog, and you build a story that Mercedes can't win the big one, you know, and make her the Buffalo Bills, and
Thanks.
get to a point where you're at your big show, you're at All In, and she has decided to forfeit her remaining titles, the ones she still has, because she is 1,000% committed to that championship belt. That's the way you make money off that story.
All right. After about 6 hours on the show, we finally get to the main event here for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship in a steel cage. Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe Donnie.
Again, this is part of my issue with AEW. I feel like the writing is on the wall on where this is going. Like I said, the last time these two guys headlined a pay-per-view, I want Joe to win. Not because I don't like Adam Page, but because I think Samoa Joe is just a better character. And I think Samoa Joe is a better in-ring talent. I think Samoa Joe is a better promo, and I think he's a more compelling person to have at the top of your company while all your baby faces challenge. I just think he's a more interesting draw. That's no slight against Hangman Adam Page. I just think he's better for business. That being said, it really does feel to me like they already had Hangman with a definitive pay-per-view win over Samoa Joe. They ran the little hot shot in order to get his heat back, to justify another match and to continue the program, which is fine. But I don't see a world where the babyface loses in a cage after a definitive pay-per-view win. I don't see it happening. So Hangman Page gets his hand raised.
Okay, Jimmy?
No, I don't see it either. And my issue here is, why is this in a steel cage a week and a half after you had 2 blood and guts matches?
Right.
This makes absolutely zero sense. I mean, even the challenge that happened at Blood and Guts, Joe gets in the ring. He asks for the cage to come down. Excuse me. They lower the cage. And then there's a kerfuffle and everybody exits before any action happens while the cage is down. So they didn't even have Hangman trapped in there in the structure, beating him down to warrant a cage match. That made zero sense to me. And I agree with Donnie. I'm a big Samoa Joe guy. I love Samoa Joe. I think this guy can carry any title you put on him and give it credence. But I don't see it happening here. And again, you're right. It's not a slight against Hangman. It's just the way he's presented. I think he got swerved in this. Same thing that happened to Swerve once he won the championship. Leading up to the win of the championship, he was booked well. And then once they won that championship, fart in church. Sorry.
You know, Vince would say swerve, swerve, swerve.
Ah.
One final thought that I just got here. We've mentioned the Casino Gauntlet match with other wrestlers, and we mentioned a surprise. Well, I have heard now, somebody just texted me, the surprise, I'm not going to say could be my Jewish friend, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, comes back and wins the new title. What do you say about that?
Sure.
Johnny?
I can see it happening. Yeah, I can see it happening.
I guess that would be a big surprise, and that would probably make sense. And if they're smart, if that's the way you do it, then you book it where it comes down to Max, Lashley, and Shelton. And now we can finally pay off whatever that nonsense was when they made him the token white boy in the Hurt Syndicate. Like,
They
pay that off.
Yep. Agreed.
All right, so it's time to pay it off here. Donnie, tell everybody about a big interview. And I'm going to say we all got lucky because we're going to listen to this interview. Go ahead, Donnie.
Yeah, so, my buddy Jimmy Corderas pulled some strings and made this one happen, and very fortunate for that. But on the show next week, you will be hearing from the new Intercontinental Champion, Maxime Dupree. And it is an absolutely fantastic interview, which we taped before she won the title. And we were full of predictions that she was about to win it. And she was, of course, being very, very humble. And I think it's a fun interview. She's a super compelling, very authentic person. It is hard not to appreciate her story. And the toxic IWC idiots out there that want to be like, oh, she doesn't deserve it. She never worked on the indies. She hasn't paid her due. Shut the fuck up. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, if you become a professional athlete by achieving the level of NFL cheerleader, and make no mistake about it, that is a professional athlete. If you can do that and then switch gears and go work in the NBA, and then you can switch gears again, go to the WWE with no previous wrestling experience, and inside of 6 months, you're on TV. That is a person who gets it. That is a person who is putting in her time. That is a person who's working her backside off in order to impress the people in power. And if there is another wrestler on this planet that has improved more in the last 12 months, I want someone to show them to me because I don't know who they are.
Simply amazing that they gave her a break in Madison Square Garden on John Cena night also. Can't forget about that. Jimmy, your thoughts on that, and tell everybody how they could get a hold of you.
I totally agree with that. Maxine Dupree was a sweetheart. She was fantastic and very compelling. A great interview. I think you're going to all enjoy it. You can catch me on all the social media and at Hotmail. I still have Hotmail. I'm one of the few guys that still has a Hotmail email account. Huge pop every week, and also on Reffing It Up with the boys in stripes, my brothers in stripes, Brian Hebner and Daniel Spencer. That's a lot of fun. I just thought of something. Because it's the way my warped mind works. Wouldn't it be cool if one of the surprise participants in the Casino Gauntlet match was Logan Paul? Just throwing it out there. I don't know.
Yeah, he next week he has a big match there too, right? He has a vision. And all that. And don't forget, Maxime Dupree. She owes a lot to her brother, LA Knight. Okay, so yeah, that's right. Donnie, final question to you. Tell everybody about your promotion and your school and everything as we close it out here.
It's not my promotion. It's not my school. I'm just one of the many hands that helps out there. So I want to clear that up before
Okay.
anyone gives me any static or heat. It's not my promotion. I happen to be fortunate enough to work at Superkick Pro Wrestling. There's a huge 10-year anniversary show coming up on December 13th. Tickets are currently available at superkick.ca. My protege, Jax Williams, will be challenging the big beast, Jesse V, for the Superkick heavyweight title. And so I'm very excited for that. And Superkick classes continuing to run. If you want to become a professional wrestler, if you want to become a referee, if you want to become involved in the wrestling business in any way, shape, or form, go to superkick.ca and let them know, and you'll get taken care of.
All right. Remember to check out that huge interview on Huge Pop this week. That's Jimmy Corderas and Donnie Da Silva. And enjoy the 7-hour marathon of AEW Full Gear. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Joe.